The city has a way of keeping detectives busy. Last time, one message led us to a meeting that never happened. By the time we arrived, our mysterious client was already dead. Following the evidence took us undercover into a world of national water where a glamorous product launch hid corruption, dangerous secrets, and powerful people with plenty to lose. Just when it looked like we'd uncovered the truth, the city reminded us there are always bigger mysteries waiting. A bombing, a cryptic message, and now 3 new clients, each leading into a different direction. I'm Witch. Time to choose our next case and see where the evidence leads. Alright, so we're back into the game, and last time the game triggered us and told us that every month we have to pay our rent and our utility bills. We actually don't know what the utility bills look like. We haven't paid any yet, but we have to pay them via email. We are in charge of being her money managers, so this is our important task for Amira. And if we don't pay the bills, just a little reminder, it's game over. Alright, Amira tells us right here, she's got 3 big clients. And those are Tiger Lily, Rupert, and Kieran. Kieran worked for the government. Tiger Lily is a questionable business owner of a questionable business. And Rupert is a very mysterious first client who is not the client per se, but like a manager of a bunch of rich and powerful clients is what I would consider Rupert. And Amira says that she's only got enough bandwidth to work for one of them. So I have a feeling right here we're going to have to choose between the 3 of them. And I agree with Amira. The last thing that we'd want to do is take on more than we can actually achieve. And Amira's suggesting that, or thinking to herself, that maybe she should call them and let them know. And the game is indicating that this is going to permanently affect the game's story and the missions available to us. So whichever one we choose, maybe it cuts off some missions that we could possibly do. Maybe it affects the game's ending. We don't really know, but we're going to find out. Ooh, so you're committed. Alright, I like it. Oh, and it's going to allow us to choose another case for each of the clients to help us determine which one we want to do. That's nice. So when we call them, we have 2 options. We can ask them for another case to get some further information about whether we want to work with them, or we can inform the client that we want to work with them full time. Alright guys, I want to know who you would pick. Would you pick Rupert Joe, our mysterious first client that made us demonstrate our resourceability by getting into the botanical garden? Or would you want the client Tiger Lily, who was direct, upfront, and very task oriented? Or should we get involved with the government? I mean, it seems like the government needs some fixing, and we could do a lot of good by helping uncover the corruption and fix things in the world of Singapore. So, drop your comments right here where on who you would pick and why. I'd love to hear why. Why did that case interest you? Huh. So now we have the ability to save the game instead of an autosave. So this should be good for us for pausability moments. So under our little leads book, it's telling us to call client, pick them, everything that the game just said. It told us to use our dial pad. And somewhere right here, we can now save the game. We're going to save it in this first slot. Alright. Before I get started, apparently my emails are glowing. Oh, and this is the rent and utilities bill. Ooh, Jesus. Okay, yeah. Our rent and utilities are $6,000. That's a lot of money. So it's $5,000 just for the rent for this little crappy office that we have that doesn't even have cloud storage apparently. It has OG storage, a filing cabinet. And then the utilities are $1,000, but we have no choice. We must pay the bill, and we do have $29,372 in the bank account to do so. Let's go ahead and pay the bill. This leaves us $23,000 left. Alright. Let's give the client list a look. And let's start with Rupert. He was our first client.
Amira, I was beginning to wonder if you were ever going to call again. What's up?
I want to start a new case with Rupert. He was our first client, and we get to get a little more insight into him. I feel like getting a little bit more insight into each of the different clients will help me decide which one that I'm going to do.
Before I forget, great work on the National Water case.
Rupert is obviously very intimately connected.
Thanks. I see you're keeping up with the times.
I am. And I also know you ran an errand for Tiger Lily.
Are you two acquaintances?
I keep to my neck of the woods and she to hers. It's an unwritten agreement that not only ensures both our longevities, but also keeps things civil.
And this part really reinforces what I was saying before about Rupert being like a micromanager. It's a client, but he's not the client. He essentially works for a group of people. We saw that same kind of in go-between with Tiger Lily. It wasn't that she was the client. It was that Lucas was the client and she was the middleman. Rupert has definitely got that middleman vibe. So we've got two middlemans and one direct client, which is Kieran for the government.
I'd like to avoid awkward greetings at events we both attend. You know what I mean?
Ah, so there seems to be some sort of past relationship between Rupert and Tiger Lily that maybe like they have two different subsets of clients, so it's like a professional thing to not step on each other's toes.
Anyway, listen. We need to speak with an important contact, an acquaintance of Philip, and someone familiar with the group that planned the whole thing.
Ah, so this case that he wants to give us is a continuation of the first case, and we did have some questions about that first case. Who was the mastermind that hired Philip or got Philip to roll over on all these people?
Perfect. Where do we meet?
There's a wine bar I frequent. Low key, the kind of place that's appropriate for these kinds of things.
Oh yeah, and wine was a key feature of that. We had learned in the first stream that wine was an item that was running out or something like that in this world, and it's very, very extremely expensive and probably only going to get more expensive.
It's called the White Mare, near Bugis. See you there.
The new case, The King and the Philosopher. Ah, Meg Ting's calling. And Amira and Mei Ting are hitting it off with some nice light jesting. And she's calling to remind us that if we're stuck, we can come to her at the library. Just give her a call if we're ever stuck. Oh, never mind. Don't come over to the library. Just give her a call if we need something. Alright, so we're headed to the White Mare in Burgess. Let's check out our map for our subway line and see if Burgess is a place, so that we don't have to look up something. And right here on the green line is Burgess. So why don't we just go right there and find the White Mare? Hit my highlight button. There's only one clickable pin here and no highlightables, and it's for the White Mare.
Amira, over here.
This is a swanky place you wanted to meet, Rupert. Piano intro. Ah, so there's highlightables here. Before we move on, I'm just curious what some of this is. So this is something about jazz. They all say the same thing. And I have to say that this is a curious interaction right here. If you notice, he says, "You look like a PI, takes one to know one." And what's interesting is I'm wondering if this is like a hidden Easter egg, because his name is L33TJEDI, Elite Jedi. This looks like a creator insert right here that I'm gonna have to look up and come back to and tell you guys whether it is or not. That would be so interesting if this is an Easter egg. And he has a funny story about a client once. The client misplaced his teeth, and they looked everywhere but couldn't find it, and then the client just went to bed and they ended up being in his pillowcase. The case of the false teeth. So this is very expensive liquor here.
Glad you could make it. This is Lawrence. He and Philip were both involved with our shadowy group.
Lawrence, hi.
Lawrence is like, "I don't want to be involved with none of this. It's all shady." I understand, Lawrence. I understand.
I understand. Did you know Philip well?
So he's only met him once. That's interesting. Even more interesting is that they were invited to a meeting, and I use my finger quotes for that one. Lupercalia. Yes, secretive groups really like to use handlers and keep things, information compartmentalized. So he was also in on the theft. And Philip's job was to open the doors. And Lawrence's job was to arrange the flights and drive people around. And Lawrence does know that there were other people that were complicit.
This group, the Lupercalia, are they based here in Singapore?
So it seems like this is not just a local group. This is a multinational or international secret organization. And the only way to get into Lupercalia is by referral, and a current member has to introduce you to the group in order for you to receive a challenge invitation to join the group.
What kind of challenge?
So Lawrence said he was given some sort of test. He doesn't know the exact reason why. He thinks it's to root out the idiots. This is an interesting test. I can see where he got that kind of conclusion, because if you couldn't find the location, yeah, that would be kind of idiotic. But the answer to the test is a set of GPS coordinates with a time and a date. And then there was a member there, and that was just it.
Well, that's fun. If I wasn't tasked with taking this group down, I'm sure they would have been right up my alley.
And obviously, Rupert enjoys secretive groups being part of his own secret organization.
I need to get in. Can I get a referral?
So Lawrence wants to negotiate some sort of guarantee for his safety in order for us to get he be the referral man through his handler.
In a word, yes. Help us out, and I'll make sure we've got people watching your back.
And I trust that Rupert will hold his end of the deal on that, because he is very resourceful and has been very well connected. Lawrence has a second condition. He wants money.
Yes, but don't push your luck. You'll get something, and you'll take it.
So, Rupert is going to give him a number, and it's take it or leave it. You know, safety and money is asking a little bit much in Rupert's opinion.
Please use these contact details. I'll need to assume an alias. The minute they figure out who I really am, we'll never hear from them again.
So Amira's gonna give him some false contact details. Apparently we're gonna go by the alias Charlene Ang.
Fine. Keep me in the loop.
So a few hours later, we're back at the office. And we have an email from an unknown sender labeled a locked door. This is from someone named Ari011@litmail.com. Subject line, a locked door. Alexander stood over the old philosopher, blocking out the sun like a mighty storm cloud. Find the old man in the school of Athens, stand below him and await us. Before that, a test of your suitability. And it's got a lot of letter codes. 8080, 8080, BEC, stuff like that. So, unlock the code with a key. Sometimes keys are shaped like squares. Play-Doh fixer, Grove, Minas wheel. This is some sort of cipher. This obviously has something to do with the referral. And Amira, who constantly knows something more than we know, knows that this is the School of Athens. It's a painting by Raphael. The National Gallery bought a recreation of it from the Victoria and Albert Museum last year. Now, I'm fairly certain, and don't like 100% correct me, or don't 100% believe me on this. You need to fact check it for yourself, but I'm fairly certain that Victoria and Albert Museum is like a real museum. They're definitely real people in history. So we got some new leads here. Okay, so it says we should go by the National Gallery, or we can call Meiting for help. I don't want to have to call Meiting unless I have to, and I don't feel like we're at a a point in this investigation where it's necessary for me to call her. We do have a lead going somewhere, so let's just follow this lead. Let's travel to the National Gallery. So we're going to need our map, and where do we think the National Gallery would be? Well, the library was in the Civic District, and I'm going to go with my gut and say Civic District. So this is the National Library where we met Meg-Ting. This is the Winehouse. And this is the National Gallery. So Amira immediately flags the Recreation of Raphael School of Athens. And she deducts that we're supposed to stand under a point of the painting. We also have some other interactables here. This is some sort of tap me guide. So all of this is supposed to be a European guide of influential European artists. And by clicking on this, we've paired our device that's over here to the left, which is what we've been using for our phone calls and stuff, as an audio guide. We are now able to browse the gallery and hear interesting facts and information about all of the things that are in the National Gallery. So before we go and stand somewhere, let's see how this works. So this is supposed to be a painting of Slim Woman with a Cat by the Hungarian painter Gerzo Ferigo, completed in 1913. And I have a feeling, guys, this is a real painting. You might be able to actually look it up. In fact, I'm going to open up the web setting right now. Slim Woman with a Cat by Gerzo Ferigo, 1913. It is. You can go online and you can see the actual painting, and then you can compare it to the pixelated creation that the developers did. That is an interesting touch. So I'm going to leave that over on the side. So it says that this is a fine example of Art Nouveau style. It was influenced by traditional Japanese woodblock printing, which is evidence in the vivid colors. Donated by Dr. Charles Kwa in 2027. Very interesting. And it's very cool that they added some real-world aspect to the game. We have an NPC here. Not much dialogue. So this is the School of Athens painting that we were supposed to see, and it's a recreation from the German painter Anton Raphael Mings of Renaissance painter Raphael's Vatican fresco, finished around 1755. And I'm going to look that up on the side here to see how close of a representation this pixelated version is, out of curiosity. Oh wow, it's like super close, guys. This is really a really cool touch to a game. And it was done between 1752 and 1755 in Rome. Oh, and here. Ha ha ha. I told y'all, I think Victoria and Albert Museum is a real place. It is a real place. It's in London, which makes sense because Victoria and Albert were the king and queen of England at about, I think the 1800s. They were, a king and queen that championed a lot of scientific progress, especially in social conditions. And the recreation was commissioned by the Duke of Northumberland. It was adapted to a rectangular format by Mings, and he did so while masterfully capturing a grandeur of the title. Important figures include Plato, Aristotle, Socrates, Diogenes, bought from the Victoria and Albert Museum and donated to the National Gallery by Guillaume Ong and Partners in 2027. I'm gonna skip this guy because he's standing next to the painting, so I feel kind of sus about talking to him. So this is French Impressionist painter Gustave Caillebots on the Pont de l'Europe, created in 1877. And I'm going to assume, like the other paintings, that it is also a pixelated version of the actual painting. Caillebots actually painted the scene several times. An even more famous painter and friend of his, Monet, portrayed the same location in his own paintings, but this one was his favorite. The composition revolves around the bridge of strong geometric features. The colors are subdued but powerfully express the cold monotony of the winter weather. This painting is Rosso Fiorentino's Musical Cherub, painted around 1521 to 1522. A brilliant example of the Florentine school, which includes esteemed visionaries such as Botticelli and Fra Filippo Lippi. Notice the brush strokes that give an organic feel to elements like the angel's wings and hair. Reflectographic studios show that the artist originally painted a building in the background, donated by Dr. Charles Qua in 2029. Okay, I have actually seen this one, so I know this is legit. This is a still life with cheeses, almonds, and pretzels by Flemish painter Clara Peters around 1615. And I've seen this from school. Peters is known for her still life paintings, and she was especially gifted in the painting of banquet scenes such as this. The lid of the earthenware jar actually shows a reflection of the painter, so it isn't just a still life painting, but a self-portrait as well. Very cool. Even artists leave Easter eggs. So let's go back to this weird guy. Who's over here standing by our painting. He's asking whether he would be feared or loved. And he thinks that he likes both. I want people to be afraid of how much they love me. Yeah, that's a crazy person right there. I like it though. I have to say that I really like this person because I often ask myself, would an idiot do that? And if they would, don't do it. I also like this because I do tell people that, you know, if you look up to the moon, we're both looking at the same moon. He doesn't think that they're looking at the same moon, but I do. So we were supposed to stand somewhere. Let's look at our mission log. We found the painting. Just gonna slightly click and I don't want to have to call mating unless I really have to. See if there's anything online about the painting, because I still got it pulled up. Okay. I don't really see anything. Maybe I should click on something again. Well, how do we examine it? That's the question. Oh, wow. We have to come back at 8 a.m. We got kicked out of the National Gallery. Well, maybe we're supposed to stand here at a specific time of day. Let's come back at 8 a.m. Four, that's... I think that's right. For like 1 minute. One minute ahead of time. Alright. Gallery should be open. Amira mentions that we're supposed to stand under a certain point of the painting. I am a little stumped at what we're supposed to be doing here. I mean, Amira tells us that we're supposed to be sitting here, standing in front of this painting. Maybe if I just twitch it. I cannot tell which of these figures Socrates is supposed to be. This is what this information is telling us, is somewhere on the left, and we're supposed to stand underneath him specifically. And then we're supposed to trigger an interaction. Anybody got a clue as to what we're supposed to be doing here? Because I looked this up. I feel like I'm standing next to them, but there's no... Not even the discovery thing is popping up. Which I feel is weird. Maybe I was supposed to click this first. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Didn't mean to do that. Maybe this is the interactable and I just gotta be in a specific spot for it. I wish it would stop moving me. Well, this is gonna be aggravating. I have a feeling that this is it, and I just don't understand how to trigger it. No. I can't tell which one is the old man. It's pixelated. Ah, so we missed something. Okay. Ha 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 ha. So I told y'all that that I thought that you had to wait here at a certain time. I am correct. 7:15 would be about this time though. So apparently you were supposed to where is it? We had gotten that cipher, and the cipher was actually a code for when to meet, which was tomorrow night, 7:15. I think we're about to get kicked out of the library. Aha! So we've got a caller calling us. They're using our codename Charlene, or our alias. They can obviously see us. Now they want us to go to a bus stop in Chinatown, which is weird because that's where our office is. It's like, do they know already? So let's get back to Chinatown and see what the bus stop is all about. So there's a bus stop right here. We've got a couple of highlightable people and objects. Yeah, I'm questioning why a bus stop to Amira. Let's start with this guy over here because he looks just like... I don't know what that language is. This guy's waiting for his son Juan. I clicked that guy because he had this like watch thing that the other guy in the museum or girl had in the museum, so it looked kind of suspicious. This guy looks out of place reading a book.
Charlene Eng?
I'm
at a disadvantage. You are? Ari, a recruiter and servant of the great cause we call the Lupercalia.
So now we've got our first contact for Lupercalia, Ari.
Tell me something. You know nothing about us. Why did you choose to reach out?
Whew. Catching us off guard. Hope Amira's got a good, plausible story.
I don't know. I guess I needed a great cause, as you put it.
The lost lamb philosophy.
I know exactly what you mean. A higher calling gives meaning to our lives, distracts us from the fires burning all around.
That's an interesting choice of words, since literally a bombing just happened and there was a lot of fire.
I won't mince words. The Lupercalia does things authorities would undoubtedly deem criminal. But our purpose is pure. The restoration of heritage and the return of powerful objects of culture and identity back to the people they belong to.
I think Lucas Yao and these people have a kind of a similar philosophy in that respect.
I don't follow. We're thieves with an important agenda, Amira. We steal from the rich to give back to the downtrodden.
Haha, now we've gotten to the heart of why this is so interesting to Rupert. Rupert's clients are all rich people, and obviously these people are stealing from those clients in a sort of Robin Hood manner.
But I'm not just talking about money. Our main purpose for being is to steal the most priceless historical artifacts and works of art from private collectors all over the world. Then, we return them to their rightful homes.
Which now makes the National Museum being the point of meeting less cryptic than it was. It's actually rooted in their whole philosophy.
An international thief syndicate. Yes, I suppose. Would you like to talk about it in greater detail in a more accommodating setting?
Yes, than the Ratty Butt Stop right across from my office.
Yes, I'm eager to learn more. Good. An associate will get in touch soon. He'll arrange a meeting and fill you in on the next steps.
So, she's not going to tell us more. This is a part of some organizations being compartmentalized. There's going to be somebody else that gets in touch with the next part. This was her job, was establishing contact and interest. She probably doesn't actually know too much more than what she's telling us in reality, as is common with complex organizations.
Excellent work, by the way. I hope you'll eventually join us, Miss Eng. Rupert, I've got my foot through the door. I just met a Lupercalia member, and I'm set to meet with another one soon.
And Rupert's going to give us some cost-covering money.
Thanks. I'll call you back when I've got updates. In the meantime, I'm off to get thick as thieves with actual thieves.
So the King and the Philosopher case is closed. And now Amira is thinking to herself about what to do next. So it seems like this is a teaser into following Rupert's storyline is what we got here. So we still have 2 other clients which we could choose from. And Rupert's line is an interesting storyline. This is gonna be hard. I can tell already. And by now, guys, you were supposed to put in the comments who you would have chosen and why. And at this point, I'd like you to add whether or not Rupert changed your mind about choosing him as the client, or if you chose him, if it reinforced or took away or reinforced you picking him, or took away from you deciding to change your mind and not pick him. So our second client was Tiger Lily. Let's see what she has for us.
Amira, I see you haven't forgotten about me. How are you?
Let's start a new case, Tiger Lily.
Listen, why don't you come over? I'll let you know how and where we go from here.
Okay, I'll be over as soon as I can.
We're gonna go visit Tiger Lily at her health club. I believe that she was in... Did it tell us? Can't remember exactly where, but I think she was in Geelong. Ah, yes. The strip club.
Amira, thank you for coming. Perfect timing, too. We have to go.
And Tiger Lily has always been a very direct person. I do appreciate this about her NPC.
Lucas is at the great abode. He went to pick up some things his father left him. His sister, Ariel, will be there. She's most likely the successor to her father as the head of the temple. She and Lucas don't get along. It'll be sensational.
And Tiger Lily is obviously a very mischievous person who loves a little drama.
Oh dear. Okay, lead the way.
Started the new case, prized possessions. So we've got some NPC dialogue here, and obviously we can see and understand why the people here might cling to this religion. Everyone feels so pessimistic about their world, the world that they're in. And this is something unique to this universe. I don't think I've ever seen, or I'm not going to say that it's not out there. I'm sure that there is. I've personally never seen a religious institution with neon lights and labels. Guns N' Roses, for sure, guy. Don't be confused. I mean, they're all great bands, but definitely Guns N' Roses over Kiss. So let's click on the temple door. Oh, this place is impressive. It is large.
Hello, and welcome to the Great Abode, the heart and home of the Temple of the Self. Here, all are welcome.
As is expected of a religious institution, it is very large. There's a lot of open space, and it's all intentional to make you feel small and like there's greater presence beyond you. Which is great because, I mean, you're there for religion and it's supposed to be about a greater presence surrounding you, and you're supposed to have this sense of awareness that there's more out there. But it's a part of the architecture of a lot of religious institutions.
No matter your race, creed, past faults and imperfections, you are all my brothers and sisters. If you would like to learn more about the Temple of the Self, and how we can help you find meaning in your existence, please approach our welcome desk at any time, 24 hours a day. If you would like to book a learning session, you may approach the events terminals. Or if you'd simply like to take a look around, please feel free to do so. This is your home too.
So we've got a very welcoming projector of, says Caleb Yao.
Thank you for coming.
Yo.
Bless you. May the Creator keep you and shine His light everlasting upon you. And may you find peace.
Easy for you to say. You've got an eternity of peace to look forward to.
And this is a little snide joke from Tiger Lily about the fact that he's dead.
As for your progeny, well, let's see for ourselves. Let's keep going.
Oh, we've got a lot of interactables here. And stained glasses, that's a typical church thing that you'll see in church architecture. They used a lot of generalized architectural moments for the design of this. Let's check out this statue. A tenet of the temple to surrender to the forces of the Creator is the embrace of joyous destiny. See what this one is. Oh, okay. So these are statues that are designed as tenets, like symbols of different things that are the foundation of the church. So this statue is a core about courage, with a nice little quote that if anyone were to read it, no matter what you're kind of feeling, maybe this is the thing that you needed to hear. And then this one is about the tenet faith, with its own little quote. And the third tenet is going to be peace. Oh, and there's a fourth statue. Knowledge. So, the whole purpose of these being in a religious institution is people are supposed to come here, they're going to see the statued artworks. It's a moment that's going to be reflective, and you're going to walk by them or have a moment, and maybe you needed courage, maybe you needed peace, maybe you needed knowledge, and you're going to read the quote, and you're supposed to either have a jolting moment of inspiration or a reflective moment, seeking guidance by looking at said statues. That's the whole purpose of them, typically being in places that are like this. We got a book lover over here. She just wants to sit and enjoy her book here. Right here we've got a actor who might be trying to stay in character. That's a interesting thing to say when you're staring at technology and won't look up at a person. So this NPC has brought her cat Dusty to the church. So, this person has obviously had some family betrayal, which seems to be a common theme in this. But they say that animals have pure souls. She wishes her pet would live longer. So this guy is the classic like my Hawaiian shirt guy. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, that's totally my husband. He will go and get Hawaiian shirts and be like, baby, look at this shirt. And I just gotta be like, oh, another Hawaiian shirt. But to each their own. I appreciate that he is his authentic self. Alright, let's go into the office.
And I won't hesitate to take legal action.
Legal action for what? I'm here to collect what is rightfully mine. As per our father's will, I'm within my rights.
The trinkets might be yours, but this entire temple and its premises is private property. My property, to be exact. And you can't just walk in here unannounced.
I mean, technically it's a 24/7, and the prompt does say that you can walk around anywhere and to make it your home. So, is this a public space or not a public space? I think you're falling into a little legal loophole right there.
Well, I'm here. And it appears so is my team. We'll be collecting all the items listed in the will, and then we'll be out of your hair.
I hope you aren't having too hard a time, Lucas. Caleb would be quite upset to see you both arguing, especially when it's over things that he rightfully left you.
So Tiger Lily seems to know Caleb well enough to not use a formal title, but use his first name.
Ah, well. I see you still hang around that glorified massage parlor, Lucas. How wholesome. And how is the proprietress of such a fine establishment doing? Hands full?
So Ariel's got a very cynical view of Tiger Lily's establishment, which, considering that she's the next head of the church, that might be a valid view of Tiger Lily's activities. But obviously, Lucas Yo does not think so.
I do well enough. And how are you, Ariel? How's your holy pyramid scheme going? Tell me, does the creator now accept cryptocurrency?
Tiger Lily's got some fight back.
You know, if we weren't in my father's office, or in a holy place for that matter, I'd slap that cheap lipstick right off your mouth.
No offense, but I don't think Tiger Lily wears anything that's cheap.
This is Rouge Lateau, my dear. You'll need a fistful or two from one of your donation boxes to afford it.
Whoa, steady, ladies. We're here to help Lucas. Keep the claws tucked.
And who is this? One of your new girls, Lily? Does she have proper documentation?
I am not a stripper. You take that back.
That's enough. Glad you're here, Amira. I actually need your help once again.
Yeah, it definitely seems like you need our help.
See these objects on my father's table? They're very valuable historical artifacts. Just a few of the things in my father's personal collection.
Very valuable is correct. I take good care of those, Lucas. Might pay for your children's college tuition one day.
And so Ariel assumes that he should take care of his valuable treasures and that the profit off of it will keep him in his lifestyle. And we know from dialogue with Lucas that he actually doesn't intend to keep or hang on to any of this wealth.
These are of exceptional importance to their respective cultures. It would be a shame if, like my father, I kept it to myself. So I'd like you to find out where they came from and donate them to their respective museums where they belong.
So we've got another travel case.
You can't be serious, Lucas. Do you have any idea how much they cost?
And this is just a sample of how materialistic his family is compared to Lucas. He's willing to give away this wealth so that other people can enjoy cultural context. And Ariel is incredulous that he would do this.
A lot, I'm sure. But I don't want them. I don't want the money either. Something you and Dad could never seem to come to grips with. It will, however, pay for Amira's time and efforts.
I think this is gonna be a big payday.
If you can't appreciate them, leave them to me and the temple.
No. They're his to do with as he wishes.
Take them, Amira. Send them home. And keep me updated.
You are an absolute fool, Lucas. You always were.
Maybe. But I was never Dad's fool. Which is more than I can say for you.
A lot of sibling tension here. And having a brother, I can understand somewhat where you can get into sibling arguments. I am very lucky that me and my brother are actually very close.
Take your little toys and get out of my temple. Have a good life, Lucas.
That was oddly satisfying.
Yes, it was. But we've got a lot left to do if we're going to turn the vestiges of my father's life into good deeds. Real good deeds. Amira, the items are yours. Please, try not to take too long. You'll get paid for every item delivered, but please be done in a week's time. Good luck.
Alright, so it's Wednesday right now, so we gotta get this done quickly.
Thank you. I'll give Lily a call once I've made headway.
We seem to have taken 3 items. Let's get to work, guys. So let's look into our evidence. Okay. So in our evidence, it says that we've got a dagger, a statuette, and a figurine. And we have to do this very quickly. It's Wednesday. So the first one is, let's do the dagger. So it's an old dagger made from what looks like chipped stone. The handle looks like a man wearing an eagle headdress. It's adorned with colorful shells and stones. No metal materials. And obviously we're going to have to do a web search here. I'm going to pull this. I know you guys can't see it, which really sucks for y'all. But you can always do the web search on your own. I'm going to type in I don't know, an old dagger made from chipped stone. The handle looks like a man wearing an eagle headdress. The first thing that came up was an Aztec ceremonial knife. Is this right? You know what I'm going to add to this? Chinatown Detective Agency. See if those two keywords come up together. Yes. So this is a Aztec or Mixtec artifact called an Eagle Knight Sacrificial Knife, or Tecpadal. Alright. So I'm obviously supposed to go to... I had to just look up where the Aztecs, what country the Aztecs are from. I know they're South American, but I didn't know what specifically would be in the game. So it says Mexico City, and Mexico City is indeed on the list. It is 5:20 right now. The next flight that we can get is 7. That's within 2 hours, so let's book flight. Map, we gotta get to the airport. Get to the airport quick. We booked our tickets. Let's depart. Alright, so we got a history museum right here. It looks like it's under construction. The museum director acknowledges the ceremonial daggers as examples of craftsmanship of the Aztec. It gives us a little backstory that they were used in ritual sacrifices for certain gods, and that to the Aztecs this was a crucial part of the ritual to prevent calamity. But he says that this particular dagger was probably not used for actual rituals and most likely a symbolic object. And I noticed that Amira didn't cue a dialogue for them to give us some sort of email that they received the artifact. So I wonder how that's going to play out with Lucas at the end. So since we're already here, let's try and find the next, which is a statuette. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna do our research. And I'm gonna type in Chinatown Detective Agency plus statue of the Buddha. Ha. So when I hear Buddha, I think China. So that's what I'm going to hypothesize here, and let's see what the research is going to tell me. Thailand. Okay, so let's check out Horus and see if Thailand. Okay, so obviously one of these might be a Thailand city. I do not know off the top of my head. I'm gonna try and look up which city in Thailand. Okay, it says Sukhothai. That does not appear in this. It also says Bangkok, not in this. Okay. Oh. So it's a good thing we double checked ourselves doing the research. So it says that it's actually New Delhi, India. And see, when I think of India, I don't think of the Buddha. I think of their destruction goddess, the one with the multiple arms. I can't think of her name right now. I think it's Kali. And the other thing that I think of is cows. So let's go Mexico to New Delhi. It is 2200 right now, so we've missed the flight. We're gonna have to just wait. Let's wait 2 hours. We know there's no more flights today. Alright, so it's 9/4 now. We're actually changing days, so it's been 1 day. Going from Mexico City to New Delhi. Alright, so we got a flight at 7:55. That is the next flight. Let's book this flight. And we've got to wait. Five hours. Yes. This should put us about 6. It should be an hour before our flight. Alright, we've arrived in New Delhi. There is a large lotus-looking building that I would associate with India. Let's try the History Museum. And the director is excited about seeing the Buddha statue. And they praise the artifact's flawlessness. The museum's very excited about some of the little details that are on the statue, such as the gesture that the Buddha makes with its right hand. It's supposed to be reassuring and protective. And apparently it's got a little bump on its forehead, which is the Ushanisha, which is a symbol of its great wisdom. And Amira makes a little joke right here at Caleb's expense. You know, he's either now reincarnated, as the belief in Buddhism is, or the cycle of samsara has been broken, which is also another Buddhist belief. Alright. While we're here in New Delhi, we'll do our research on the last item that we possess, which is a figurine. So, Chinatown Detective Agency and it wouldn't let me type it first. And figurine. Of a woman with a large disc. Okay. So, okay. This says, and I know this one, this says that this is a statue of Isis, and Isis is married, or supposed to be married, I think, to the sun god, and I think that's why she's... Hold on, I gotta verify something. Aha! That's right. So she's the sun goddess. She was married to Osiris. I was pretty sure that she was married, and I had to double check myself on that. It's been a long time since I delved into Egyptology, or Egypt mythology, either way you want to say that one. But they were divine. They were considered a divine partnership in Egyptian mythology. But anyway, obviously we're going to Egypt, is my point, because Iris is an Egyptian god. So this should be pretty cut and dry. Cairo is definitely a Egyptian city. So I'm gonna go with Cairo. The current time is 20. The next flight is at 22:30. We're gonna just make this. Oh, and this is all lit up because it's nighttime. the museum director immediately recognizes the statue. Yeah, this would be considered the Bronze Age. Now this, I'm not so sure about. Egypt was one of the few places that was able to withstand the destruction and disorder brought about by the invasion of the Sea Peoples. I'm not too familiar with this aspect of Egyptian history. But apparently, this is saying that this was one of the deciding factors of the destruction of a great civilization. And to my own knowledge, I believe that it was not the case. It was actually the Greeks in Rome. So unless the Sea People is the Greeks is what they're trying to tell us. She was a very multifaceted goddess. Alright, we have now brought back all of the items to their home. And in the background here, this is modern day 2037 Egypt, and you got the Great Pyramids here in the background with like lights coming off of the beacons or the peaks of the pyramids, which is got a lot of Vegas vibes going on here. So we need to book a flight home. It is 23:47. I do not think that we are gonna book a flight home tonight, so let's wait just a moment. Alright. 8:55 is the next flight. We got 8 hours to wait. Speed that up by 6 hours. We might be a little early. Or did I not buy the ticket? Ah, I didn't buy the ticket. Where did I go? Oh no! I was supposed to go to Singapore. I forgot to change it. Okay. 8:55. 11. Book flight. Wait. 2 hours. That'll be 10. so use this to call Tiger Lily.
Amira, how are we doing?
I've returned all the items.
You never cease to amaze me, Detective. I'm sending you the money along with a bonus from Lucas.
Appreciate it. I traveled from one corner of the world to another, you know.
I'm sure you did. Great work. Wait for my call. I'm sure we'll hear back from Lucas soon.
Thanks, Lily. I'll be waiting on you.
Now we've completed the case of prized possessions. And we've gotten a little money in our pocket. So now we're down to one final client, guys. We have to call Kieran. And this was the government conspiracy. And honestly, I'm not going to spoil things with you. At this point, I'm going to reiterate. I want to see in your comments. I want to see in the comments which case that you think is the most interesting. Was it Rupert's case, Tiger Lily's case, or will it be Kieran's case? And why? I think this is really important. I want to see what you guys have to say about this. So I'm going to ask Kieran to start a new case. So he wants us to come visit his office in the Civic District. And we have seen this on the map, so we can just go down to the Civic District. Ah, a new pen has appeared for Kieran's office.
Mr. Iyer, I trust the Ministry of Trade and Industry is treating you well. Is now a good time?
Amira, come in. Thank you for sparing the time, a most precious resource. There's something important I wanted to share with you. The result of over a year's worth of...
Snooping around?
I rather hoped the technical term was investigating, but you are the expert. Let me ask you something. Who owns the MRT system, New Power, Singapore Roads and Tolls, and our good friends, National Water?
It's a good question that I do not know, but Amira might know.
I do enjoy a pop quiz. All I know is that they were all bought out by a bunch of companies during the deregulation. I couldn't tell you who.
2 years ago, yes. Government services were snapped up by private companies and investors. Like lions fighting for a bite of the kill. No oversights, no checks and balances. A Shanghai-based company called the Wu Wang Group. They own the largest stakes in these companies out of all the shareholders.
Never heard of them.
Their growth has been only recent and rapid.
Benign or malignant?
That's what we need to find out. They haven't invited publicity, which has me wondering what their intentions are. I have nothing on them, at least not yet. But where there's smoke, there's fire, right? The money used in the bribes is coming from somewhere, and I've got a hunch Wu Wang is involved.
What's the end goal? Proof that Wu Wang is involved in the bribery of government officials?
So Amir is asking a very important question. She's asking Kieran, okay, you want me to investigate this. What do you want the end goal to be? Because without a specific goal, how do we have something that's achievable and attainable that we can get paid for? And that's important context.
Ultimately, yes. Exposing Wu Wang's link to the scandals is a step in the right direction.
Okay, where do we start? What have your investigations dug up?
I've got a list of people that I think know something. One of them works at the Transportation Authority. His name is Gilbert Ma, middle management type. I don't want to spook him. You want to catch the prey? You've got to think like the lion. Let's send him a little gift. A mutual acquaintance has informed me Mr. Ma is a wine connoisseur. He visits a bar in the area, just across the street from his building. Perhaps you can convince the barman to point you in the right direction?
All right, I'll start with the bar.
If I unearth anything new, I'll keep you updated.
So we got a new case, bottled up. Alright, so we're supposed to go to the Winehouse bar. And coincidentally, wine has been mentioned a couple of times. Not directly connected with this case, but in Rupert's case it was connected. So the Winehouse is closed. Its operating hours are 1600 to 400. They operate at night. It is currently after 4, so they just closed. Let's chill around and wait for 8 hours. Oh, I was 3 hours too early. Wait 3 more hours. Be fashionably late to the Winehouse. So we've immediately got some highlightable items. And right here we've actually got finally an explanation. There is a wine supply crisis. Now we don't know if that's worldwide or just in Singapore. So you got a guy that's drinking coffee at a wine bar. Apparently they've got really good coffee here. So we're gonna talk to the barman. He says, welcome. Amira does a little small talk right here. Oh my god. So, right here, this is a little creator quirk, okay? So, the proprietor has a thing for soul singers who died before their time. The name of the bar is called Winehouse. It's Amy Winehouse. So it makes me think that the developer of this game has a thing for Amy Winehouse. That's clever. So Amir decides to do the can you mix me a drink bit. And the barman seems a little suspicious of our friendly dialogue that Amira is trying to put off here. Oh, and then the barman backtracks after Amira kind of pivots off and goes, "Oh, I didn't think about that," you know, like a normal person would probably do to throw off suspicion. And the barman is back on alert again because he doesn't recognize us. And the barman makes a little joke at Amira's little bit that she wants him to make the most complicated cocktail that he can make. So he's called it the startled bartender. And he's gonna put about 20 different ingredients in it, and some are very rare. And I don't think that he was thinking that she'd actually order that. And I think Amira did a really good job there at relaxing the bartender from his alert status. So now, we can click this computer while he's gone. We've got to do our super hacking skills, which you guys know how well I am at these memory puzzles. They might as well be misery puzzles. Okay, we got one. Whew. Made it. Come on, computer, search through these transactions faster. That bartender's gonna come back any minute. Oh no, a customer's coming. And Amira's deflecting that. Alright, so now we've got a wine list. We've got Hautes de Nuits 2029 Le Bon Exchequer. That part is French. Inquitor. I hate butchering other languages. Cateau Bourgeoisie 2025 Maison Clisseau. Burgundy Pinot Noir 2026 Domaine du Mont Verte. Cabernet Sauvignon 2025 Wrecking Ball. And a Burgundy Pinot Noir 2022 La Gale de Mistral. Seems like all of these are reds. I'm not a big wine fan myself. So Amira has called Justin to see about wine recommendations, which I think that is a good call to make, since she's admitted to not being a wine drinker, and Justin brought her a bottle of wine. So she needs a recommendation. So right here, we finally got an indication. It is a global wine shortage. And Justin says that terroir in Taopea should have decent stock. Let's get out from behind this bar. Oh look, surprise!
Who does someone have to bribe to get service around here?
Oh, Laetitia is showing up at the Winehouse.
Laetitia? Laetitia, ex-CEO of National Water? Is that you?
Oh, she's ex-CEO now.
I'm fairly certain that is not my full name.
You're meant to be behind bars, not in one.
Oh, that was clever.
Very good, Amira. What can I say? I have friends in strategic places.
Rich friends, rich places.
I'm sure whatever you were doing behind there doesn't involve making a mean operator.
That's none of your business.
How many cocktail titles does one world need?
It makes a change, me catching you doing something you shouldn't.
Except I'm doing something that I very much in fact should.
Sometimes the ends justify the means. I'd hardly put us in the same category.
I'd be careful of how you phrase that. Not every end justifies the means.
Oh, honestly. One bribes a few officials and mistakenly has a whistleblower killed, and everyone thinks you're a scheming murderer.
Well, yeah, you had someone killed.
Hardly seems fair. I am only one of those things.
Is there a reason why we're still talking, Laetitia?
No time for niceties anymore. I'm here because I wish to see you.
You're a wanted criminal. You must be aware the feeling is not mutual.
I need you to do something for me, Amira.
Interesting that you think that's within the realm of possibility. The air must have been thin at the top of the corporate ladder. You're in the gutter with all the other crooks now. You just don't seem to know it.
Oh, honestly, Amira, if you'd just pause for breath. That engineer that ended up dead, Carl Pan, I need you to investigate who killed him.
Didn't you kill him?
You killed Carl Pan. Or you had him dealt with, at least.
I know that's what you think. That's what everyone thinks. That's what I thought. But I only wanted him scared. He wasn't meant to die. Climbing the corporate ladder is one thing. Taking a life is quite another. I might be involved in bribes, but I'm not a murderer.
Well, there is definitely conviction in that statement.
I can't think of one good reason to believe you, Laetitia. Goodbye.
I have a bad feeling about that interaction. But we gotta go to Taopea to get a bottle of Burgundy. Let's see. Is that a pet? Yes, it is a place. It is right here on the red line. So we got 2 pins here, and Terriar is definitely the place that we need to head to. Ah, we're not even gonna interact with a real person. We're gonna interact with a shop bot. Oh, that's true. So the shopbot also admits that the wine shortage has left their stocks very low, but they're valuing quality over quantity. So right there we learned something that I did not know. Oenology is the subject of wine and winemaking. And I'm going to trust that this is factual because the developer of this obviously put real thought into using real world items into the story. So purchase a wine for Gilbert that Gilbert Ma can't refuse. He likes reds. So we've got a Moray Saint Denis 2026 Domaine Chevelle. I don't remember that being on the list. I don't think that was on the list either. This is a white. Keep looking. Alright, so let's open this up and review our evidence. So he liked a lot of wines that were from 25, 26. Let's look at these again. So this is 2026. And this is 2026. So I'm inclined to think it might be one of those two. Oh, look, there's a whole nother section over here. Ooh, this is but brewed as champagne, not a red wine. This seems like something. I'm gonna gravitate for that to that right now. So come back to this one. Chateau Gay Bordeaux. Let's see. It's also French sounding, which is like all the other ones. No, this was the champagne one. It's definitely not that one. I can rule that one out. Now this is a Cabernet Sauvignon, which is a red. But this is a rosé. So I don't think it's that either. And I'm not a big wine connoisseur, but I do know a little bit about wine. I know that a rosé is not the same as a Cabernet. I'm not sure what this is. And I'm not sure what that is. And this is a white. So I don't think it can be that one. Benedict the Third. Okay. Was Benedict in one of these? I mean, honestly, guys, I'm gonna go with my gut here, and I think it's this one. But I feel like we need to look something up. Just to double check myself. Do 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 do. I think I'm wrong. No, it's not this one. I'm not wrong about this. Double check them all. This one? So it's saying this one. Let's hope that the information I looked up is correct. Ah, so we're gonna get a tip-off about where Gilbert Ma is. They like to hang out right down the street from us, which is weird considering that they like to drink wine, or wine connoisseur. Alright, it looks like we're gonna be headed back town to Chinatown, right next door. I do remember seeing a restaurant right next to our office. Oh, this feels upscale. Can't believe this is across from our office. We got a lot of interactable objects here. Got things that feel like the botanic garden. Alright, so he's supposed to be wearing a white shirt. Navy suit, white shirt. That guy is not in a suit, but this guy looks like he's in a suit. Oh, it's not the guy. Maybe it is this guy. Maybe he just took the suit part of his... Yeah, this is the guy. So Gilbert is now very interested in being bribed. And Amira says, why don't you just drink and I'll ask you some questions. And apparently the waiter has, doesn't have a policy about bringing outside food and beverages to this restaurant. And Amira cuts right to the chase and wants to know who has been bribing Gilbert Ma and why, and excluding ourselves from the bribing. Amira's going to whine about how much knowledge he may actually have. And Gilbert gives us our next crumb of the investigation. Apparently he has a colleague that's been being a little loose with the money and going to a certain gentleman's club in Geelong. I can't imagine that this is in any way connected to Tiger Lily. Gilbert then gives us another grain that he may have taken a peek at his emails. And that there is some connection between Zhu and Long and Wuong. Now we've got a new name that he's given us, Ray Lamb. We don't know who that is. Oh, it's the colleague. Alright, so this was informative information. Huh. So Gilbert Ma has a philosophical moment here. I don't know what it's got to do with the current bribery, but we have been seeing a common theme of some people talking about things like this. And he asked if the MRT ground to a halt, if cars stopped in the streets, what would happen to the world? And this is obviously some sort of thematic trying to think of the thematic label against technology and people becoming too reliant on it. And now Gilbert is drunk and ranting. Let's just leave him passed out here at the table. No, actually, let's just go back. Our office is right across the street. Alright, so we know that Ray Lam was bribed by Wu Wong. Wu Wong is the overarching company that owned companies like National Water. And we might need to call Kieran, as indicated by our evidence. Oh, Amira vetoes us and says we don't have any updates right now. Okay. But this one wants us to go to... Okay. We're gonna go to his office in the Civic District. Hopefully he keeps around the clock hours since it's 4 o'clock in the morning.
Ah, Amira. Good to see you. I thought you'd be here sooner.
Came as soon as I got information.
I got caught up.
Bad traffic?
Transport had something to do with it. I hadn't expected to be mildly held hostage by an inebriated government official waxing lyrical about the philosophy behind transportation. I had no idea it was possible to get a hangover through osmosis.
Please tell me you have good news, Amira. Well, as good as news can be when the world has gone to the dogs.
I am pleased to report Gilbert was quite forthcoming about the whole thing. I get the feeling he's feeling a little left out. Fancies himself a corporate criminal.
Should we be worried?
Let's just hope he associates corporate crimes with that horrendous headache he has on the horizon. The good news is, he singled out a person named Xu Enling. Could be our way into Wu Wang Group.
Excellent. Great work, Amira.
You'll be pleased to hear I even have the name of the transport official being bribed by Wu Wang. The flashy type, apparently.
Oh, good. They're the easiest sort to track down and make a charge stick.
Name's Ray Lam.
Excellent. If I follow the paper trail, I should have enough to get a search warrant. Listen, I know you don't do this for the money, but bills have still got to be paid.
I mean, I totally do this for the money.
I'll wire across payment for a job well done. Truly excellent work, Amira. Xu Enling. It sounds like Xu Enling might be our foot in the door.
Kieran, do you ever wonder whether we rely too much on machines to keep the wheels of society turning?
This is an interesting philosophical moment that our character is having here, because like I told y'all, this is a reoccurring theme throughout this game I've been seeing, and I think it's shows an intention that the developer had.
Thank you, Amira Dharma. I will now. A question to haunt my dreams.
And now we've bottled up, case closed. So now we've got a big decision to make, guys. Who are we going to go with? And we can only pick one. Who do we pick to further the journey with? Do we pick Rupert Joe, who is the handler of a secret society of upper echelons? Do we go with Tiger Lily, who is the middleman and proprietor of an interesting establishment? Or do we stick with the do-gooding government official who is trying to root out corruption? Honestly, I'm kind of torn, because for me, Rupert and Kieran have the most interesting story plots, in my opinion. On one hand, people have died. On the other hand, people have been bribed. So both have very compelling stories, and you're gonna have to wait and find out what my choice is next time, tomorrow at noon Central Standard Time. But for now, I'd like to hear your comments about what you will officially choose, and maybe if there's enough comments, I might choose the popular choice. So bye guys, have a magical day.